interested in visual art. I was drawing comic book characters ever since I was a kid. So I was an art studio major at University of Kentucky. Ended up doing fiber arts as my concentration under Arturo Sandoval. Had a great time. I took 5 years to graduate because I just kept taking classes that seemed fun. I kind of lived and breathed at WRFL, the student radio station. Creativity and art have always been a part of who I am, and I've applied it to a number of different things. When I was in school, I applied it to visual arts, to creative writing, to, honestly, the creativity of being a DJ at WRFL. And a lot of what I loved about being a creative person is having the autonomy to kind of create whatever I wanted. And I think ultimately it might have been inevitable that I became a small business owner because I wanted to call my own shots. When it comes to something like Atomic Ramen, I knew that I wasn't just going to create a ramen shop, that I wanted to imbue it with everything that I was interested in. And for me, that's comic books, monsters, pop culture, robots, science fiction. So all of my sort of personal aesthetic came into play when creating Atomic Ramen. That's why we have 3 comic book characters that were specially created for Atomic Ramen, as if it existed in its own universe that had superheroes and monsters and things like that. And I had never thought about being on TV or competing in a reality cooking competition. But, I was at the point of my life, I was like, what the heck, let's give it a shot. Went up there, they tried my food. I think there were 200-300 people at that audition, and they held auditions all over the country, like thousands of people apply every year. And then kept interviewing me, kept doing follow-up interviews, and eventually I got on the show. They flew me out to LA in December of 2013, and we shot in the early spring of 2014. I lasted 8 episodes, spoiler alert. Then when the show aired in the spring of 2014, I got to get connected to a lot of breweries and other establishments in Lexington. We had viewing parties at West 6 Brewing and Blue Stallion and Smiley Pete and all kinds of other places. And just had a great time with it and got to see how supportive Lexington is as a community for its kind of hometown heroes, but also for its restaurateurs and food establishments. And that whole experience really kicked down the door and allowed me to create what is now my culinary and restaurant career. For me, I wanted to bring a new cuisine, and it was very much in line with my idea and brand of being Culinary Evangelist, in that I wanted to spread the gospel of great food, and especially to expose more people to cuisines that they haven't had before. So we're full-time at the 90 Dining Hall. We're part-time at the Champions Dining Hall in the Student Center. We do a 1-week rotation every 4 weeks, along with 3 other great local restaurants. And we're also vending at all the UK home football games at Kroger Field as well. We did a lot of little pop-ups to kind of try it out. And as soon as we entered the dining hall, even doing a 1-day pop-up of some ramen, suddenly there would be a line of 30 college kids, and then the line wouldn't break for 2 hours. And I'm like, oh, there's something here. They're hungry for something different. So we've kind of dipped our toes in it little by little, and now we've been doing it full time for about a year now. I'm really honored to be one of the people at UK and at the stadium, and really proud to kind of spearhead different facets and different flavors of what I consider a really robust and really diverse food scene in Lexington. I'm ready for whatever the next thing is, but I don't necessarily know what the next thing is. And a big part of my brand also is I want to stay very much connected to the community and do a lot of community service and community work, advocacy work, particularly for immigrants and refugees. So it's very important to me that I balance and kind of integrate both my business and my activism.